Welcome to this week's Workplace series. In a world of constant noise, it's easy to assume that the more you say, the more influence you have. More meetings, more messages, more updates, more opinions. But in leadership, having impact, having influence isn't just measured by the volume of what it is that you're saying. It's measured by meaning, the words you choose, the timing of those words, and the discipline to know when to speak, when to pull back. All of that shapes the way people experience your leadership. And it's important to recognize language is not neutral. The phrases that we use carry meaning. They reflect culture, history, power, and expectations. Some phrases that once felt clever or harmless can over time feel outdated, dismissive, even inappropriate. And that's a useful reminder for all of us. Your words don't just communicate information, they signal what you value, what you notice, and what kind of culture you're helping to create at work. But here's the tricky part. What you intend to say isn't always what someone else hears. Every person brings their own history, culture, experience, and emotions to the words that they hear. A phrase that might feel direct to you might feel harsh to someone else. A comment that you see as efficient might land as dismissive. A message that you think is really clear might leave others confused. Now, that doesn't mean that you need to overthink every sentence, every word that you say, but it does mean that you want to be conscious of what you say and when you say it. Effective leaders don't just simply speak, they calibrate. They think about who's in the room, what matters to them, what might they be hearing beneath the words that I'm saying, and how can I ensure that I'm making the message clear, respectful, useful, helpful. Effective and influential leadership in the context of human communication is about saying what matters. And sometimes what matters the most is also knowing when to pause. Silence, of course. Now, it can feel uncomfortable. In a tense meeting, a difficult conversation, many people are going to rush to fill the gap. They might explain too much, justify too quickly, answer before they've listened. But silence, when it's used well, is really powerful because it gives people space to think. It allows time for others to contribute. It can give weight to what's already been said. It can create calm when there's a lot of moving parts in a room. A pause can also say, I'm listening. It can say, this matters. It can say, I don't need to control every single moment of this conversation. Of course, silence, when used badly, has a shadow side too, because when it's used to avoid, punish, withdraw, it's going to damage trust. When people feel that they're silenced because they're afraid to speak up, or they feel excluded from the conversation, or believe that their voice won't matter, that cost, that trust deficit is going to be high. You'll also weaken the relationship. You'll miss out on ideas and their input. So the question for leaders is not simply, am I speaking? You want to ask yourself, what am I creating through my words and through my silence? So you want to challenge yourself. Are your words building clarity or are they creating confusion? Are the conversations that you're having creating connection or are they just transferring information? Are you using silence to hold the space or are you using it to avoid something that's uncomfortable? The best leaders, the most influential, don't dominate the conversations, but they do know how to shape the conversation. So remember, words matter, so do pauses. You want to use both with care. Take care. I'll see you next week.